everybody, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest tonight is a tech entrepreneur and co-founder of LinkedIn. His new book is Super Agency, What Could Possibly Go Right with Our AI Future. Please welcome to The Late Show, Reid Hoffman. Good to see you again.
Great to see you.
So as I said, you got a new book here, Super Agency, written by Reid Hoffman and Greg Beato. Okay, why didn't you just have ChatGPT write it?
Well, that was my previous book.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I forgot.
Yes.
And
impromptu.
you sent me a copy that was written just for me.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
That didn't creep me out at all.
That's what we try. You know,
That's your try to?
What could possibly go right? We could creep out Stephen.
Okay, so people are scared of AI, or some people are scared of AI. People picture a dystopian future where we're working for our robot overlords. Why won't that happen?
One of the things I think everyone should try to use AI. And a frequent parlor trick I do is I pull out my phone, I put it down, and I put it on audio mode, and try to get people to start using it because it's.
People should also try heroin. It is amazing the first time.
Well,
first hit, you're like, yes, I get it.
Yeah. Well, you learn different lessons.
Okay.
Yes, right. So from heroin, I think there's a different lesson than what you might learn from ChatGPT.
Sure, exactly. Yeah.
And you can do anything from like, what should I make with these ingredients that are in my fridge, to my kid or my parent or my family member has the following ailment. What should I do? To like, make a sonnet for my birthday or help me figure out a difficult conversation I'm about to have with Stephen Colbert.
Well, did you run this with ChatGPT before you
Once
came
or
out here?
twice, yeah.
Once or twice, okay.
Yes.
How did it go?
It's not nearly as funny as you are.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes.
Safe for now.
Yes.
Some people think that, or fear, that our dependence upon artificial intelligence will lead to intellectual laziness, that we'll outsource it. In the same way that like nobody remembers phone numbers anymore because they're all on the phone. And this is basically remembering and doing for you in ways that are much faster than you can. Any reason to worry about that?
Well, that's a classic fear of technology. Phone, for example, phone numbers, calculators. When calculators came out, it's like, oh my God, people are not going to be able to do math anymore, right? Because the calculator will be doing it. Well, you can't bring it in the classroom, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Actually, it's how you use it. And by the way, part of what we have with AI is the greatest learning machine that has been invented in history, right? So your ability to learn new things, right? So for example.
Oh, for you to learn. I thought the machine was learning.
It learns too.
It learns
but
too.
Like, for example, I put in, and this will sound very geeky and nerdy, but you know, I figure I'm with a Tolkien nerd, so
exactly.
why
Go ahead.
not?
Yeah.
Right? I put in something like, for example, a paper on quantum computing and quantum mechanics that's math is way above my pay grade, and say, explain this to me like I'm 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it works.
And you got the gist of it.
Yes. So
does it know everything?
Well, it maybe thinks it knows everything, but maybe that's also human beings who sometimes fit that characteristic. But it knows a lot of things, more than any one human being on the planet.
Okay, and what is good about that? Because is it necessarily good for humanity that there are things that we just won't do anymore if this thing's going to do it better?
Well, I mean, for example, we had the Industrial Revolution where 90% of the people working on farms ended up in cities.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Right.
You can take a car somewhere rather than run or try to flag down a horse. That's a good thing. That's a superpower that car can go faster than you can.
That's how you got horses mostly. Yeah. Horse.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Flag them down.
Well, I heard that's the way it works here in New York.
Exactly. You just flag down the horse.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, and this isn't a political discussion, but how do you feel about your fellow tech entrepreneur being given access to so much of our federal government with no oversight?
Well, so look, I love companies. I start them. I just started Manus. I invest in them as a venture capitalist. But government and companies are not the same, right? The way that you're running governments shouldn't be the same way you're running companies.
Do you know what Mussolini? Do you know? Well, do you know what Mussolini said? That fascism, properly defined, was a joining of the corporate and the governmental.
Yes. I think I now understand our current circumstances a little bit better.
Yes.
Yes.
So does it worry you at all that somebody like that has all these, because the corporations are corporations and government is government. You know, Elon, should we trust what's going on?
Well, I think, let me put it this way. What I want to say is that as Americans, we should be trying to help as much as possible, right? We want government efficiency.
Yes.
But obviously, we could do it in a much less cruel and much more lawful manner. And that's really important.
One of the things that I've seen you do a couple of times that I really enjoy is that you have an AI clone of yourself.
Yes.
Here we go. This is you, and you occasionally hold conversations with yourself about AI. What is the good purpose of this? This is a nice trick, but why do we need two Reid Hoffmans? You know what I mean? Like why like this feels to a certain extent it's enjoyable and it's funny, but it also feels like identity theft. Can you imagine the bad uses of this?
Oh no, there's definitely bad uses too. And part of the reason I did this is that the technology is frequently used to describe this as deep fake, which is like bad, right?
Yes.
And actually, in fact, even this does have good uses. I give a speech in Perugia, and I had Reid AI give that speech in Hindi, Chinese, Japanese, Italian, right? And so connecting with people, that's an instance.
And this AI is going to be in everything eventually, right? Like the Internet of Things is going to have artificial intelligence. Like my toaster's going to be smart at a certain point.
Yeah, and then at that point, you'll be able to talk to your toaster and say, I like it with just this level of crispness around the edges.
Will it talk back to me?
If you want it to.
So I won't be hungry and I'll never be lonely again.
And the toaster will bring it to you.
Yes. The press has recently been calling this an AI arms race, especially after Chinese developers released DeepSeek, which was cheap, and fast, and pretty good. Did you think it was pretty good?
I thought it was pretty good. It was not a surprise to any of us other than maybe being 6 to 12 months earlier from the Chinese than we expected.
Market was rattled
Yes.
when it came out. What do you think that we're entering into an arms race? And if they can do that faster than you thought, are we going to lose?
Arms race is not the way I want to characterize it. Competition, economic competition, development competition, and...
But if they win, that's kind of in the control of the Chinese government.
Yes.
Which is a totalitarian regime who wants to control all the information that we get.
Yes.
And the best way to possibly do that would be to dominate AI.
Yes, and they have announced that they want to have AI leadership by 2030.
So what's the answer, kiddo?
Well, the good news is right now, we here in the US have a bunch of amazing labs, not just OpenAI, not just Microsoft, not just Google, not just Anthropic, there's even others.
Yep.
And I'd say even with DeepSeek, we are currently marginally ahead, and it's one of the reasons why it's important to keep going.
So it's less an arms race and more like a moonshot.
Yes.
So it's a space race,
Yes,
let's
exactly.
say. And then when with AI, we could really fake the moon landing.
Yeah. You could do that today. You could fake the moon landing with AI today.
Wow, just like you did back then.
Yes, so I've heard, but I think it was the internet that told me.
The internet told you? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Reid, good to see you again.
Pleasure.
Super Agency is available now. Reid Hoffman, everybody. We'll be right back.